minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Molnar, you indicated in your testimony that over the next decade, we'd be about 3.5 million new manufacturing jobs will be generated, with 2 million of those jobs expected to go unfilled due to a shortage of the skilled workers. The Purdue Manufacturing Extension Partnership, which is in my district, has developed 5 skills for success programs that address manufacturing skills gap in Indiana in the areas of manufacturing, quality, supply chain, and leadership. Would you care to elaborate on the work of NIST and the MEPS and the Manufacturing USA Institute and what they're doing to address this skills gap, in your opinion?
Terrific. Thank you. It was in RAMI, of course, that we have the requirement to work with the Manufacturing Extension Partnership Program, and it's really the way we've seen it is we have a 30-year network that is, their mission is to engage small and medium-sized enterprises with a 4-year-old network, and so we saw that as a natural fit. As the institutes, they're focused on the development of technology and the identification of the skills gaps in those technologies. It seemed like a natural partnership working with our other agency partners, including the Department of Education, to help identify these with our academic partners, universities such as Purdue, and community colleges such as Ivy Tech, to identify, develop, and have these. And then finally, it's the old, you don't know what you don't know in the supply base. And so this is where the MEP program really shines, in that folks in Indiana know about the Purdue Center. And so they know that here is where I can go to get advice and be made aware. So we've seen that as what the NIST pilot over the past 1.5 years has been to have an embedding program to make sure that there is an MEP staff member involved with each one of the institutes to make sure that we have a two-way conduit between what do the small and medium-sized enterprises need and want, and then what do the institutes have that could be a solution for those companies.
Thank you. And to kind of follow up on that, do you think there's any need to evaluate those initiatives and scale those up or add to them?
Well, as RAMI also required, biennially we have an assessment by the Government Accountability Office, and we're just completing our 2nd assessment there. So working with our colleagues at GAO, we have this biannual assessment, and one of the things that we've just received yesterday, their draft findings, and they noted about the connections with education and workforce. So we're always looking. Before public service, nearly 30 years in industry, continuous improvement is the way of manufacturing, and so we can always find ways to improve.
Thank you. I have one more question. Dr. Hopkins, if you would care to understand that your organization, I understand that your organization is a partnership of government, private industry, and universities conducting research on new composite materials. Can you describe how these efforts could help companies in Indiana and how this research could improve the resiliency of our infrastructure?
Yes, I'd be happy to. And Purdue University is one of our key partners. If I'm looking at the Midwest in general, and Indiana particularly, the composites industry has a pretty strong base in that area. A lot of that is attached to automotive, but also in recreational vehicles. One of the things that we're doing is trying to connect these, various sets of companies who have different markets that they're serving, and provide a common place for them to innovate. A lot of these companies in Indiana and in the Midwest are smaller companies that don't have access or easy access to research and development facilities. And even though they're next door, maybe at Purdue, it's challenging sometimes to find the right door, to find the assistance in getting help with innovation, and finding a way to help implement it. We heard a little bit about the importance of digital. This is another important missing piece in the small and medium-sized enterprise kind of landscape, is the digital tools necessary to feed into the greater scaled-up production that your Fords and Dows just automatically have at hand. These are things that we're trying to do by connecting these dots and providing that service.
Thank you. I see I'm out of time, so I yield.